Hello. Okay, so I'm live and I'm gonna keep this. I'm gonna turn that light off. We're gonna keep this video, okay? Thank you for joining me. My name is yVoNNe. Really, I'm gonna show you a self-care day. And I'm going to talk to you about how I have post-traumatic stress disorder, how there's 5 stages of healing. The first stage is about the crisis stage in our identity. And we're going to start with that. We're going to reclaim our identity. And if you've given up on yourself, or you know somebody with PTSD, bipolar, whatever, but they seem completely hopeless and helpless, they're not taking care of themselves, I'm just going to show you myself. I'm going to be authentic with you. I'm going to let you know some of my story. You can judge about where you think I am on a scale of 1 to 10. If I am articulate, if I'm taking care of myself. But no matter what, I want you to share this with somebody that you know who's in a hopeless situation. Because I choose to share my life with you, and we have to inspire these people, okay? Change is possible, and I'm a living proof of it. There's 5 stages of recovery from PTSD. There's no excuse about giving up on anyone, yourself, or somebody else. This is 2017, about to be 2018. We have the internet, we have YouTube. We have people showing that knowledge is power. Thank you, Emma. And this is the truth. This is exactly what people say, that my attitude is refreshing. And this is what I'm saying, is that I'm living it in real time. I'm going to show that to you, that I've lived it in real time. I'm in real time, and I have a future. And I'm going to give it back to the people. And I'm going to show you that you can overcome whatever it is that you're in right now. I don't give a crap what anybody told you or what you're telling yourself. So I'm just going to go about my day for a minute. And we're going to talk. I'm going to share a bunch of self-skills, self-living skills, life skills, self-care skills, and talk to you in the process. This is, I love Dunkin' Donuts. And it's just where I always get water from there when I get a coffee. And I reuse these. So I don't know how annoying this is going to be right now. But I'm going to do some dishes real quick and talk to you. I don't know if the noise will be annoying. If it is, you'll have to just let me know. So there's this amazing person that I discovered. Okay, cool. When I was going through some really hard times a couple of years ago, and it was after I was diagnosed, and I was trying to qualify for an intensive PTSD program, post-traumatic stress disorder program, okay? And we were having a hard time because I don't display all the typical things, apparently, that PTSD people experience. So this therapist was having a hard time diagnosing me to qualify me for the program. How about that? We discovered after a year, and I mean that was 1 hour per week of trying to qualify for this program, and sometimes it wasn't every week, but we discovered that just because I'm not having lots of flashbacks doesn't mean I don't have PTSD. The factor that really qualified me was the pattern. The patterns that I have. The pattern, one of them is this disassociating. And I don't mean out of my body. That's not what disassociating is. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about being removed from the trauma. So in order to move on with life, so that we can function, okay? So it took a long time to even find what my traumas actually were. But I was proving and showing that, man, I have all the classic symptoms, like I can't hold a job. What's wrong with me? You guys. One of the last times that I had a decent job and I just started having these weird panic attacks and I just couldn't go back to work. I was actually working at the IRS. I know, boo, right? I know, that's bad. Anyway, it was a big deal for me because it was the most money I had ever made, and I'm not good at typing, and I qualified for that work, for that job. And it was actually my second season there. And I just realized that I was supposed to deal with this post-traumatic stress disorder. And I just, you know, again, it was just this pattern. And you would think, oh, okay, well, I have a decent job. Why would I quit it? That's dumb. This is the pattern. So you can say that it's this, that, or the other is the diagnosis and the reason why the person can't do a job. I'm telling you, the post-traumatic stress disorder has a lot to do with why people flip out and they don't succeed at their job. Okay? It has something to do with what they're feeling and what they're going through. Sometimes it's something to do with just because we can't sleep at night. And so when it's time to go to work, we're exhausted. There's just 110 different ways to understand this. Just let's not focus on all of that. Let's focus on that there's a pattern that people have with PTSD. And we're spending our whole entire life being misdiagnosed. And by the way, I'm doing dishes because when I move my ass, I feel better. Alright? So I was saying all that to say, so a couple years ago I discovered this dude. His name is CJ, the Metal Motivator. He's on YouTube. Okay? He doesn't know me, I don't know him. Alright? But check him out. Go all the way back to the beginning of his YouTube and look at where he's just like, you know, he has a cool background. It looks like he might be satanic and he's burning candles, you know. Don't freak out about that. Don't look at that. Don't judge him. Just listen to what he's saying. And he's talking about turn your pain. Turn your pain around. Stop living like a victim, you know. And I'm telling you that this is what helped me overcome my PTSD to the degree that I already have. Because I realized that I had to look at it in its face. And that was the only way to do it. I had to look at the fire. I had to look at my pain, feel the fire, feel the burn. It's just like somebody who's trying to lose weight. You can't just lose that weight and be bitchy and complain and say, oh my God, it hurts. You guys understand what I'm telling you? You need to be kicking yourself in the ass. And if you can't kick your own self in the ass, you need to find somebody, a life skills coach, who's willing to do it. You don't have to know these people. They don't have to know you. You don't have to pay for money, pay for their services, I mean with money. You don't have to do that. We have YouTube. It's free. It's free information. Hi, Lauren. Okay? That's your first assignment. Every spare chance that you have free time, stop watching television and go invest in yourself. Okay? Check him out. I want you to check him out. CJ the Metal Motivator. Go all the way back to the beginning and watch his videos. Some of them, they're shocking. Okay? Because that's what they're supposed to do. And that's one of his titles, is how to shock yourself out of something. Complacency or apathy. Okay, and this is part of it. And if one of your assignments is to move your own ass, get up, do your dishes. It's called self-care. Oh, by the way, I'm using this scrubby. And I'm using cheap Target dish soap. By the way, it smells like grapefruit. Okay. I have these little string lights. And I have a candle, you guys. I don't know if you can see that. I have a candle. Okay. This is my aromatherapy. I love to wash my dishes by hand. Do I speak dyslexic sometimes? Yes, I do. So CJ the Mental Motivator, I'm telling you, if you know somebody with PTSD, send this to them. Tell them to kick themselves in the ass, because there's this free life coach named CJ the Mental Motivator. Okay? He's going to challenge you, and he's going to push you out of your comfort zone, because that's what you do. That's what you do when you go to the gym. If you have to push yourself and you want to give up, that's fine. Then you got to listen to some kind of motivational speeches, or, you know, Motiversity. That's an awesome one on YouTube, Motiversity. Or some Metallica. You know what I mean? You need something that pushes you in an aggressive mode to move your own ass. Okay? It's what you got to do. The Bible says you actually have to encourage yourself. Did you know that? If you don't have people coming around you, knocking on your door, sending you mail, calling you every day, giving you a daily word of encouragement, guess what? Do it for yourself. You can read the Bible and expect that it is really life-giving and recharging, but we're not doing that right now. Right now, we're just moving our own flesh, okay? Our flesh and the spirit are two separate things. I'm not trying to turn this into a religious thing right now, okay? I'm trying to say that you have flesh, you have it 24 hours a day. You have to motivate it. You have to move it. Awesome. I'd like to hear more about that. Okay? So as I'm trying to find my fight, see what I'm saying? I'm trying to find my identity and my fight. And I'm using outside sources of inspiration. I'm thinking, you know what? Somebody else has got some of this figured out already. I'm going to go find out who they are. CJ the Mental Motivator is one of them. In the process, I started remembering some of the things I've always liked, such as music and heavy metal. So I'm kind of putting it all together. That's why, you know, I'm digging CJ the Mental Motivator. Okay, like that's all. Like, you guys, if you grew up a metalhead like I did, then you understand. There's a lot of people who are metalheads that are dumb shits. I'm gonna be straight, okay? We're dumb shits. We're like Beavis and Butthead living in our basement. You can't find no direction. Okay, but that's like anybody. I'm just saying. This is part of you know, the stereotype that I have fit in, and I'm trying to break it. You know? And then you find CJ the Mental Motivator, you know, and he's just like, he's not being like a guru. He's not being a Tony Robbins. Do you see what I'm saying? You gotta realize we're not all the same. Okay? If you want encouraging inspiration, then go to T.D. Jakes and Joel Osteen. Those are ear ticklers, okay? In more than one way. I'm talking about something that's going to take you out of your comfort zone and push you. And sometimes they're going to cuss a little bit, and they're going to use metal music. You can judge it all you want, but you have to find what's good for you and what fits your style. Your style. My style is metal. That's my core. I need my ass to get kicked. I like how it feels. I like the music. It pumps me up, okay? I've gone into another direction too, and I've also discovered that I like EDM. Alright? It also does that for me in a different way. It really pushes my body when I like to exercise. Okay? But I was talking about the music. So the music part of it was, I discovered how I loved Pantera back in the day. And one of the verses that he would say was, I don't know, I think it's called Driven. And he would say, when I channel my hate to productive, I don't find it hard to impress. I know, look, it's just, you like to read? You like poetry? you like books, you like movies. Most people find something that inspires them, and it's usually a quote. This is what I'm talking about, okay? Don't try to overanalyze it. And call me some whatever you're going to try to call me, okay? This is dumb. Don't do that. I'm saying is that you have to find the things that work for you and motivate you, and take a mental note of it, and then take it to another level and put it down on a piece of paper. You know, turn it into a statement. How many of you walk into a home goods store and people make that stuff now, and you can buy it? I'm saying make it for yourself. Find those quotes. Like, am I going to do it for myself? Yes, I'm going to. Okay? I just started discovering that certain songs from the metal world were the thing that were kicking my flesh into action. So a lot of times that's what I end up doing, is I need the outside stimulation. Does that make me an introvert or an extrovert? I don't know. I don't want to analyze it to death. I just want to say, not every single thing in this world is just this, you know, oh my God, it's darkness. It's darkness. Don't have anything to do with it. It's darkness. Alright. Alright, so I'm done with those dishes. You ready to see the end result? Da, 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 da. This is my little kitchen area. I live in a tiny studio apartment. And I did drink all that coffee today, just so you know. I want to drink coffee today. It's 10 degrees outside. It's been snowing here in Kansas City. So, am I self-medicating? I guess apparently I am. With coffee. Because look, I have all these delicious creamers. Peppermint mocha, French vanilla, and hazelnut. And I have cheese snacks because I'm from Wisconsin. So, there's only one person watching. And I don't have a lot of battery juice right now. And I'm trying to figure out what to do next. But it's a day in the life of a person with PTSD. And I'm asking that you would share this information with somebody that you know who is giving up on life. Okay? Why do I only have okay, you know. So I'm going to show you very, very quickly, Emma, okay? It's my studio apartment, and I'm working on making this my sanctuary. Okay, that's my my patio. I'll try to show you everything real quick. This is my messy bed. I haven't made my bed yet. My non-traditional Christmas tree. I have kind of doing the feng shui thing, okay? And I have these candles. They're battery operated. Cute, right? And I have these two little angels because this is my love corner. Look. Whatever. This section right here is going to be turned into my office. Like, this is my biggest challenge right now because I've been working on the rest of my apartment for quite a while. And I have a storage issue. This is true. So, alright. My bathroom. Look, I quit smoking. Just so you know. That's a big deal right now too. Be patient with me. I'm really trying to quit smoking. And I'm leaving that right there until after. I'm leaving this trash here until after the 2018 to make sure that I'm really going to quit. You guys, I've gone to a program. What did I do? I joined a, what do you call it? A medical study? A smoking cessation medical study? They paid me $60 a week, by the way, and I had to wear a patch. I'm telling you, I've cut down drastically. So I'm saying I've seriously been working on, like, I'm trying to cut off every single thing that is enabling me, okay, when I'm pissed off, when I have anxiety. That's my reality. I'm really serious about getting healthy, okay? So yeah, so that's my bathroom. It's very tiny. I'm very boho-ish. I love the paisley. I love color. It's too much color. I'm trying to tone things down. I'm overwhelmed by all of this mess. I can't live like this. Turn this light on real quick. And this is my little living room. I don't have real furniture. I'm starting over from scratch, you guys. I am a master of resilience, by the way. I've started over lots and lots and lots of times. This wall is my living room. Right now I am currently working on making a vision board about for this next year. I'm kind of just working on a backdrop, and I'm just going to go through all of these magazines and just kind of keep layering it and layering it and layering it. That's my whatever corner. You see, I don't even have a table really to eat at because I'm using my table for my office, and then there's that. Okay? And I have a closet of stuff that's filled with stuff from my past that I have to go through. That is a whole other day and a challenge. And then my closet for my my clothes and shoes. And I'm kind of working on that. And all of that stuff is stuff I have to go through. But it's out of the way for now, so I can kind of focus on. So yeah. And by the way, you might want to see my. Oh man, I left my lights on all night. Here's my entry for Christmas. I didn't think I left my lights on all night. Whoops. All right. And this is what you see when you come in here. But for me, I'm really trying to tone this down. Like, I know that I'm a boho chic kind of person, which means boho is like overwhelming, okay? It's just too much of too much. But that's my style, and I'm trying to figure out a way how to turn it into chic, like shabby chic in a way, and tone it down because this is overwhelming to me. All of this is too much. So this is kind of my focus on the color schemes that I'm trying to go for. I want to try to go with what I already know, which is I like glittery things, and I want to turn that giant rainbow, basically, I want to tone it down and stay with this pastel color. It's not muted. It's more like the watercolor sunset. Does that make sense? And it's okay to keep my colors into my artwork. That's fine. But in my environment, I gotta tone it down. It's just too much for me. So I'm working on it. The bedding is one of those areas where it's the most neutral that I'm trying to go for. And all this mess, I'm working on it. Like, that's a giant pile of clean clothes. But I will work on all of that. Okay? See where I'm going with this? So, I gotta plug in the phone. Ooh. And I think I'm just gonna let my phone charge up. Nobody is watching. I'm going to let my phone charge up for a while before I come back on here later and talk some more about this. I need for you to reach out to people who have this post-traumatic stress disorder stuff or bipolar, who seemingly have given up on life, have no life skills. I need you to believe that I am this person who's going to stir the gift back up in people and help them find their fight. And that's what we're doing. There are people who are committing suicide. We can't allow that. And the only way, basically, look at me. Let's get this. The only way I'm suggesting is that we can do an intervention. You can do anything. Okay? I can help you through it. So look. I have a couple of reasons why I have my fight. And I'm telling you, when you find some of these motivational speakers, they help you find your why. Which is like the same thing as saying you have to find your reason. You have to find your reason for why you're getting up every day. What is your end goal? What is the reason? When you find that, that is going to change the focus. That doesn't mean you're always going to have every day perfect. I'm saying you got to really find these outside sources to kick yourself in the ass. And there's no reason why, if you know somebody who's going through some hell, feeling suicidal, doing whatever, giving up on life, there's no reason why you can't bust up in their atmosphere, bust up their atmosphere. You know what I'm saying? You have to shake the ground that they're walking on and laying on and sitting on. You have to go and shake them up. Okay? I don't care if they're pissed off at you. You gotta love bomb them. You gotta. Okay. Clearly, it's only going to be a certain kind of person who's going to do this for a while. You know what I mean? Most people are too busy with life. But it has to become a prayer that you have so that you can give back to somebody else what you already know. That's what I'm focusing on. And God is creating an answer to my prayer. Because everything is for its season. And people are struggling. There's no reason for this anymore, you guys. You can't. If you listen to any of my other videos, you'll understand kind of where my mind is on the matter. And the matter is that life is all about these people who are like me. The orphan and the underdog and the forgotten and the neglected. Like, we're somebody else's problem to solve. And that is just the reality of life. People don't want to have to deal with you because you are too much work for them. But you know what? Don't take it personal. Understand something. When you want to break the cycle, you have to realize that you were created to be the one to shine. You can't be pissed off at the world, and you can't be all sulking and sinking into a hole of your own depression because you're constantly expecting someone else to pull you up out of it. I know this sounds like I'm being hypocritical and I'm, not making sense and I'm going in circles. If you have these issues, you need to realize that you were born to be a leader. So I'm just going to repeat myself over and over and over again. This is me. This is my channel. I'm going to show you what I'm living like in real time. I'm going to be real with you. I'm just going to talk incessantly. You need to move your own ass. You need to find some of these people who are already doing it, who are already motivated, who understand. Start listening to their advice. You don't need to you don't have to leave your house. You can spend a month just building yourself up by listening to others who have found some motivational techniques. Find the thing that works for you. There's nothing wrong with getting inspiration, you guys. It's how you stir yourself up into action. You have to find what works for you. You have to do this. You have to save your own damn self. You hear me? Move your own ass. Look, I know some of you don't like this style. You need someone to coddle you. You need kid gloves. I get it. But this isn't how it's going to be. Okay? I spend my time at the group counseling places where I have to be careful about what I say. All right? I'm not doing that on my YouTube. This is where you need a life skills coach who is going to see your potential and kick you in the ass. And I'm telling you, you can do it for yourself. And I'm going to show you all the different ways you can do it for yourself. You have to find certain things that inspire you and motivate you and make you happy. You have to nurture yourself. Do you hear what I'm telling you? You have to give yourself the things that you need. You have to love yourself. Give it to you. Okay? You have got to stop expecting the world to take care of you. You know what? I always resented this one particular person. I was going through such a hard time. I had just lost my husband. I had just lost my mother. How did I lose them? Well, I lost one by death and one by divorce. You figure it out. I relocated. I had a chance to start over from scratch again, which is what I do. Master of reinvention. I had $10,000 coming to me, and I was trying to make a plan. Like, okay, you know, I gotta do this right, man. I don't want to waste this money. I gotta figure this out. I was only 30. And this person, who was my best friend for over 20 years, she basically said to me, "You acting like the world owes you something." And I'm just like, look, she might have thought she was doing me a favor. She wasn't. Okay, let me just tell you that. She let me know that I was surrounded by all of these people who never saw me. They didn't see me. I was invisible. I'm always being invisible to these people who are calling were calling each other best friends or family or whatever. I'm invisible. This is ridiculous. I'm not acting like somebody. Okay, so do you see where I'm coming from? I came from such a place of neglect that the stereotype was coming at me, which happens to a lot of people. A lot of people who are misguided, misdirected, have seemingly no goals, and feeling lost, and there is a sense of entitlement that the world owes them something. Look, I'm trying to seriously break through stereotypes to try to find the balance in it. We've got to understand that not everybody is like that. Okay? Because I know for a fact that when I first tried to even use a food pantry 10 years ago, the first time ever, it was Thanksgiving time. And I got so much food that it just blew my mind. And I was so grateful. And I'm talking about, I was downtown Kansas City, Kansas. And I was so grateful I let them know. And it was my first time ever having to use a food pantry. I mean, that was that year, because I mean, it was a messed up year that year. Or not that year, but anyway, shortly after. I had to start learning how to use my community resources because I never did. Okay? And I remember the person who had given me this giant cart of food was like shocked because she was shocked at my gratitude, because she said everybody who comes in there acts like we owe them something. Like they just have this sense of entitlement, and then they complain if they don't get the things. And the stuff is free. You guys, I'm trying to show you that I understand on all spectrums, okay? And I want to give hope to people who are in these systems, who are helping people like me, and you've got to start to understand that we're not all the same. There's a lot of people who are grateful, and they might not even say anything. Don't give up on us. Don't get burnout. That's dumb. You gotta, even you have got to start to see some people who are, rising up and making the most out of these community resources. And we're seriously, sincerely grateful. So, you hear what I'm saying? There's so many different ways to do this video series, because there's a lot of people struggling. So I'm just going to keep living this out loud. Until I find some more people to connect with, and just keep building from there. So, I just think I'm going to bounce off of here. There is no one watching. Most people are busy with their life. Again, I ask that you just don't be afraid. Share this video, or share a motivational speaker video with someone else that you know who needs a little bit of ass kicking. Okay? 2018 is right around the corner. We don't need people giving up on themselves. And I get it when you're exhausted. Yeah, I don't even use Twitter that much. I don't even know how to tell you how to find me. It's under yVoNNe, yVoNNe. Or it's under Yes Flip the Tables, I think. Or you can find me on Facebook. Facebook is yVoNNe Christine Oprean, O-P-R-E-A-N. Or you can email me, yolewis824@gmail.com. That's YOLEWIS824@gmail.com. Alright, so, if I haven't said this already, but I'm really trying to do something different. Going live is an opportunity to reach out to more people. Okay, cool. I want to be able to start doing YouTube lives, because that way we can all be talking together and have a conversation. I know it's very time consuming. People just don't have time for this. I get it. Really, Emma? That's so awesome. To really take this experience that I'm going through with my friend, who is starting at square one. I just got off the phone. Love to you too, Emma. Please do find me. He's starting at square one, and it's answered prayer, because I want to be able to empathize again with what it feels like to be at square one. So that's really what I'm doing with this YouTube live right now, as I take it into 2018. I want to be able to take all of that I've learned, turn it into a blueprint somehow, a strategy. Something that you don't have to, have Medicaid and Medicare or health insurance even, or maybe you are a veteran and you're stuck in the VA system, and there's a lot of people who are just beyond disappointed with the VA system. So I mean, there's just, what I'm saying is I want to be able to give this back to you for free. And I am learning from other mentors. I'm learning from people like, I've watched, again, CJ the Meta Motivator. I've also watched Coach Corey Wayne, the relationship coach. You know, a lot of people don't really understand him, but when you hear his personal story, he and I are intensely the same. His mother was schizophrenic. Apparently my mother was too. You know, we grew up in these crazy environments and we just lacked the social skills. You know, but I never have become as successful as Corey. But what my point is that I'm striving to. I want to be able to do a lot like what these people are doing, where they're taking this thing that they've learned how to master and give it back to the people for free, or for a small fee. Both of these people are doing it where they're charging for one-on-one services. I can do that. This friend of mine, he will be my first client. We're working on it right now. I just got done talking to the social worker of where he's at right now, and let her know, like, we need to get this services going. So I'm gonna wait to talk with them in a couple of days and whatnot, but this is the new direction that I'm going into. So I'm gonna do it in real time. You know, it's gonna seem like a social experiment. But that's how I want it to be. I want it to be a hands-on experience. And I want to be able to document it. I will be talking to this person and saying, hey, can we YouTube this? So you guys are going to fall in love with this person, okay? And see it in two aspects. You know, the one who is seemingly a bit more advanced, and the one who's just starting out. I mean, so this is amazing, you guys. Do you hear this song? Like, I'm so grateful. I mean, I'm still just talking, but I'm trying to just let you guys know. And I'm just going to say it again and again and again and again. Every one of you, especially those of you who have already know that you have PTSD. Most likely you've been misdiagnosed all your life, and I'm telling you, you got to start from scratch. Go read PTSD for Dummies. Find that thing that is the source of your trauma and start looking into it. And just go with the flow and purposefully spend time in your home, shutting out the whole world to isolate only for the fact that you want to heal. Right? Work on yourself this year. Make it happen. Self-diagnose yourself first before you go one more time to these therapists who don't know anything about what they're saying most of the time. You're getting misdiagnosed, most of you, okay? This is reality. Right? You gotta take the power back. That is from Rage Against the Machine. Do you see what I'm saying? I've learned how to create myself by taking certain things that I've been drawn to. And I'm making my own identity. These are like bricks that I've put in place, and this is the core of who I am. And that's what I'm here to say to you all. I believe it with my whole entire fiber of being. Okay? And it's going to sound spiritual, excuse me, sometimes, and that's okay. But you need to realize there really are generations of people that are raised up for such a time as this, okay? Now follow me. I'm not inviting you to the cult of yVoNNe. Please hear what I'm telling you. There are certain people in history. How were they made? And how did they conquer? Who comes to your mind? I'm thinking of Joan of Arc. And whether you like Russia's President Putin or not, he's a hard ass. And I just can't think of his name, but there was a conqueror back in the day. There has been conquerors back in the day. America has had its own, which was definitely Martin Luther King Jr. Don't try to analyze his lifestyle and try to say why he was a false prophet and blah, blah, blah. Don't do this. Okay? Let's just look at the fruit of the result. And what are we talking about? The thing that they all have in common is about setting somebody free, setting a people free. Okay? But it starts with yourself. And when it is you're meant to be for that thing and that purpose and that plan and that generation and those people, I'm trying to tell you, we have got to look at something called 9/11. 9/11, don't think about who caused it. And don't do this. Just think about what I'm telling you. 9/11 caused the whole country to have PTSD. All right? So it changed everyone's physiological internal makeup. It changed everyone. And it changed the behavioral health system. So fast forward 17 years later, or 16 years later, the behavioral system is looking at PTSD for the first time in a way that it's never looked at PTSD. Okay? And now it's being put in place. And it's not everywhere yet. So it's just this thing that's acknowledging that PTSD is real. And they're learning how to deal with it and cope with it. Now I'm saying, you do not have to sit around waiting for things. You can make it happen for yourself. So we have this internet. You can follow some of the advice that I'm giving you. And you can start being aggressive about your own healing. Okay? So we're going to be a different kind of army, if that makes sense. If you want to be focused on the enemy and just be like, yeah, well, they don't want us to rise up, and okay. Let's look at this in seasons. Right now, we're having to focus on our identity. When we realized that we were built for war, that our whole physiological makeup is similar to a firefighter and a police officer and an EMT worker, even emergency room nurses and doctors, when you start to see the similarities, you'll start to see yourself. This doesn't mean you have to go into those professions. What it means is that you just have to start to see how you are already an overcomer because you've lasted this long in life. Don't be afraid of the feelings that go with what you're going through. It feels overwhelming. That's how it's supposed to feel. My methodology is to be in a safe environment. Your home is a safe environment. Create it like a sanctuary. Even if you are with family, go take a room and make it your woman cave or your man cave. Turn it into your healing sanctuary room where you have to have a timeout. Whenever you need to have your timeout, whenever you need to recharge. Okay? You're not doing illicit activity. You are in a safe environment where you can watch certain motivational videos. You can read devotionals. You can read your Bible. You can cry privately. You need to have a space where you can be safe. This is what I learned from the PTSD for Dummies. If you are surrounded by all kinds of negative things, enabling people, a family that is unsupportive, you got to realize you're number one. You need to push that out of your life and move forward and get on your fast track to healing. You have to figure that out, how to do that. And if you're in an environment that doesn't allow that, then you have to go and make a special space until you figure it out and you get the strength. Let me just take it to another level. Like, what if you are in a domestic abuse situation? You have post-traumatic stress disorder. You're so foggy you can't even function. Okay? You see what I'm saying? If you're constantly being violated and abused, you're in a fog. So every spare minute that you have alone, you got to gain some strength. Okay? So some things I want you to do is what not to do. If you end up having to call health crisis lines for some advice, do me a favor. If you're suicidal, then you need to really take yourself out of that environment and take yourself into a hospital. Okay? If you really are truly in a bad way, take a time out, go do that, because you're going to get some sleeping medicine. You're going to get a chance to rest. And if you need a temporary medicine, that's fine. Don't freak out. Okay? Because then when you go into those places, you have an ability to start using community resources like you've never used them before. You get a social worker, and these people are equipped to connect you with the community and community resources. You're not supposed to do this by yourself. Okay? There are community resources, and I can help you find them. All right? United Way 211 is something that was put in place after the Hurricane Katrina. Anywhere, any place in America has 211 on your phone. And it's designed to hook you up with community resources. So that's their job. You don't have to be calling them and saying, well, this is what I need specifically from such and such place. You don't have to know where the resources are. Have you ever needed an emergency bed for a child? They have a thing called sleepyhead beds. Did you know that even exists? There are so many things that exist. I am very resourceful. Okay? So, I'm just saying 110 things to say there's no reason to be neglected and for people to be giving up on you or you giving up on yourself. People are already put in place that want to help you. And what we have to do is make the connections. We have to make the connections with each other. We have to do this. This is what we have to do, and this is where I'm at. I'm going to be doing it. I am in basically my last year of my therapy, my intensive therapy. I am 75% better. I'm on a strict order from my therapist to just slow down, not go back to work until I get some stuff figured out. And in the process, I'm discovering that this is kind of like if I was getting a PhD, if I was getting a doctorate, then this is where I'm supposed to be, doing this, hands-on thing, social experiment kind of thing.
To the day after Christmas, when life starts to get back to normal. What do we have to look forward to? Oh yeah,
so
2018. It'll be here in no time.
Apparently I've had a really bad connection all day too. That's what it says, but that's not always true. Sometimes that pops up, and when you do the playback, it might look like I'm just like moving in slow motion. Wah, wah, wah. But the audio records just fine. So I gotta try to make some progress while there's still daylight and start working on that office, and I will hopefully come back and report to you on the progress that I've made. and sit at that desk and make more videos. Alright? So don't be afraid to get a hold of me. You know, I'm gonna be doing my advice things for free for a little while. You know, unless I figure something else out, but that's my goal for now, is to just do these YouTube lives. Find people who are really interested in facing this PTSD and tackling it. And it's a cancer. Not a literal cancer, but that's what it basically is. It is a paralyzing thing, and you can overcome it. And I'm going to prove it to you. Alright? I am going to get more organized. I'm going to start sharing a lot of these notes that I have. And I'm just going to talk. I'm going to share them, and I'm going to talk. I'm going to explain where I'm coming from, how I know that it's really working. I'm giving away these things that I've learned for free. The people that I've been working with are very aware that that's what I'm going to be doing. Nobody ever told me, yVoNNe, you can't do that. Okay? Nobody ever said, you can't give away our services. You know what I'm saying? Because we have got to save people from where they are. Because most people never want to go into this intensive program because it's too difficult. And I'm trying to just tell you one more time. If you have a cancer, do you literally just let it take over your body? Or do you at least try to fight with something to cleanse it out of your body? Now, I'm not here to discuss whether chemo is right for you or not. I personally don't know what I would do. One thing I think I might try to do, besides prayer and asking for a miracle, is juicing. This is part of the second phase of my life, this last year of healing. I'm going to try to do, as I'm going to try to learn how to use nutrition as a natural healing repairment. All right. Two things I've discovered is I'm going to try to do, I think, coconut oil. I'm just going to add coconut oil instead of using Vaseline for my skin. I'm gonna try to use this coconut oil, and then I'm gonna add like avocados to my diet like crazy. These are just the two things that I've chosen to finally do. I think that they might be the fastest repair from the inside out and the outside in. Do you hear what I'm saying? I'm just trying to let you know that you can make choices today, and these are baby steps. And it's just like anything. You know, working out your body is harder than laying in bed and watching some videos. Do you hear what I'm telling you, you guys? Okay? You can do this. You're worth it. And that's all I'm going to do is try to say to you over and over and over and over again that I think that you were created to be resilient. I think resiliency is your gift to humanity. All right? And it's a gift to yourself. And it's a gift to your family and your friends and your children if you have them. And you're going to see it over time. And seeing the patterns is really what's going to help you. You know, when you see the pattern in others, you're going to see the pattern in yourself. We have to do this mirroring thing. Okay? So, I'm going to go. I'll talk to you later, and I love you all. Be blessed. Bye.